It's like you guys met me at a night that I was hosting. I don't really rap at a lot of shows anymore, but I do host shows because I feel happy doing that. You know what I mean? It gives me a feeling like that's my humble thing. I'm kind of giving back to the younger rap artists that are coming out. You know what I mean? So to be able to host a show and announce artists. It excites me. I enjoy it. So that's why I'd rather come to a show and host it instead of rap at it. I get invited to rap shows all the time. I just don't do them because it just don't. I'm a little older than I'm a little older than you guys, so it don't hit the nerves like it used to.
Hey, yeah, no, respect with what you do and what you go through. I mean, you put in the work, so that's why that's why we're dealing with you and whatnot. But you see what we're doing, though. You know what I mean? Like, I want to say something because you mentioned the Thornton show. When we were in Thornton, Colorado, we were supposed to perform as the Messy Boys. You know what I'm saying? And I made an appearance to the show by myself because not everybody could make it. And with respect to everybody's home and everybody's family, which brings us full circle. I mean, we're not doing this for the reason why other people would naturally expect us to do it, which is like the fame and the fortune and stuff like that. Nah. I mean, this is the Messy Boys, and what we do is we make music that we love, but we wouldn't have had this opportunity if we didn't show up to the Thornton show.
A lot of doors open that you don't even realize sometimes at some of the smaller shows, man.
Levels, so many levels to it.
Yeah.
Hey, kids in Lamar City, there's levels to this ish.
I mean, I do. You're exactly right. Like, I don't know how many doors open for you from that Thornton night, but I've done shows where there was like 10 people, and then turned around and did a show where there was like 2,000 people. So it's awesome for that feeling when you get invited to do something bigger, from a different promoter.
Like him said, we don't do this for a certain expectancy because you will be disappointed. But if you know what you're doing, and this goes back to the Boys and Girls Club, but full circle, you know what I mean? As a child, as an adult, as a person, as a human being, communication is the most beneficial thing in any type of relationship. And without communication, but if you're not getting your point across, or therefore, if you're not making a statement, because I was about to cuss, excuse me, because this is how passionate I feel about this. But if you're not making a statement, and if you're not doing something and you're not speaking up, then I would encourage you to tap into and adapt to a certain situation. Like, for instance, the Messy Boys, we didn't have any help. We didn't have any support. We've been making music for so many years, but we never released any music. And that's why we come around full circle, because genuinely, we're getting the attention that we're getting because of the simple fact that we're not looking for one specific thing. We're not looking for, to gain interest for what we do. The Messy Boys do what we do. And we make great music. The production all the way down to the lyrics, we make great music. But a shout out to everybody out there who is willing to commit to something, to give 100%. Shout out to everybody, child or adult, who's willing to dedicate the extra time on top of whatever they're doing to be a better person and fulfill the duties that we were expected to do. Everybody has a job, period.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about rapping. Sometimes we have to have a promoter. Sometimes we have to have a manager. Sometimes we have to have an engineer, a producer. There's so many levels to this, and that's why we're doing things for the Boys and Girls Club, and that's why we've been able to exceed the amount of support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Support's one of the biggest things, especially locally. I'd like to put that out there. Go to a local show and support your local artists. Even if you are an artist, go out and support, even if you're not on the bill. I'm just going to put that out there real quick because some of the shows ain't getting the numbers they should. I had talked to Sodenko about this several times, and he even remembers because he was doing shows, years back, and you didn't have to work as hard. And I just got another message. you didn't have to work as hard as you do now as far as promoting to get the people in the venues.
It's always been work. Don't get me wrong, it's always been work. I started out with a black and white printer with the Windows 98 computer before Mac was even introduced to hip-hop in general, and everybody was taking it seriously. So with a Windows 98 computer with a black and white flyer, you know what I'm saying? But we weren't really committed to the music industry in general because our music wasn't 100% up to par. And there's a standard which people don't take into consideration. And it comes with every level of the music industry. It's not just rapping, it's just everything that you do. You know, in the business world, I should say. Communication is huge. But I mean, people who haven't been there, people haven't done that, people haven't seen that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been beneficial for us,
the reason I bring it up is because I know you guys worked your butt off, all you guys, promoting the shows today, you know what I mean? And from the work you did 15 years ago, you would have got another 200-300 people in, is what I'm trying to say. You know, the support system needs to grow in the Colorado music business. The support system all around. You know, that's why, you know what? So, sometimes I don't show up to shows, but I always put that I am going because to make that number look bigger. I've talked about it with you before, you know what I mean? I want to make the number, instead of, it looks like 20 people's going, you know, I want to make it look a little higher, you know, you want to make it look like 200, 300, 400 people are going, like some of these big paid venues, you know? So and if everybody did that, came together and then tried to make it, you know what I mean? I think things would come a long way, a lot quicker. Well, let's finish up with Mr. Criminal. Odd thing is, we were doing shows with Mr. Criminal before. I did shows with so many artists back before they were kind of big and people paid to get into the shows. I didn't even know who they were sometimes, and he was one of the artists, and it was funny, and it was just it's a fun. I said I was going to tell you a funny quick story. We did a show with him at the Western Complex, and he came up and he got a CD from me. He paid for it. He gave me $5 or $10 or whatever it was, and he just told me who he was and everything. At the time, I had no clue who he was. You know,
you've been respected for a long time. I respect.
I didn't know who he was, though. I really didn't. I know who he is now. He's way famous now, a lot more famous than me. But it's a pretty cool little funny story, though. You know that I had met all these artists and didn't know who they were at the time. You know.
Yeah. And
the good thing about Dank, he's a good promoter, and he did the right thing. He stuck. We met all these guys at these shows. We were doing shows with all these guys, and he kept in touch with them, and now he's rolling with them full force, you know, and putting some good shows together. So once again, shout out to him. You know? What's that? I know it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy all around, man. So it's like I think about all the changes, man, and I'm glad everything's picking back up and everybody has that motivation again, because a lot of people lost it for a lot of years. You know what I mean? You didn't. Yeah, you get cycles. It wasn't there for a lot of years. It's getting me excited now. Even when I talk to you guys or me and you have a conversation, it gets me excited. Like, damn, I want to go out there and let's do this. Let's get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, shout out to you guys on the Mr. Criminal Show. Shout out to the venue. Shout out to Dank One. I'm glad you guys had fun. Was there any last things you want to mention about the Criminal Show?
I have a couple of things. Yeah, it was awesome to be able to perform with someone who's established like that. You know what I mean? And like you mentioned, back in the days, and being able to see them before they got to that status. You know what I mean? And it just goes to show, like how it plays out. You know what I mean? And I know we're all working hard at this, and it was awesome to be able to perform with someone like Mr. Spindler and actually seeing, seeing him reap the fruits of his labor. And, it's inspiring to want to keep, pursuing that and to actually be able to travel and, and get that kind of love wherever we go, for the art that we do. You know what I mean? It was a great opportunity for us tonight to be able to perform with, that kind of artist, and you know what I mean. So we're gonna take everything we can from it, and adapt it to our game, and you know what I mean. And so it was a great learning experience to be able to perform with such an established artist. Hey, man, we got mad love, baby. I ain't gonna lie about that. We got mad love. Yeah, we know how to work the crowd, baby. You know what I'm saying? We go in there and we put on a show, because when it comes down to it, regardless of what type of hip hop or rap that you're presenting out there, what type of art you have, it's still entertainment when it comes down to it. So, you know what I mean? You either entertain the crowd or you don't. And we're some showmen. So we go in there every chance we get to bless the stage. They're coming up there trying to put on a show for the crowd. You know what I mean? Hey, the music's gonna sell itself. By the way, the music's gonna sell itself. But when it comes down to it, it's something costs $10, and you can do something to make it cost $15. Why not do that? And that's what we do on stage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mentioned earlier that about only being 5 or 10 people at a show and being thousands at a show. One thing that I've always took to heart, and you can ask anybody who's ever worked with me or anybody who works with me, is that I always take that show, whether it's 5 people at that show or 5,000 people at that show. I always work that show like it's the same amount of people. I don't treat it any different. So that's one thing I'm putting out there into the world, and I don't know if it's advice to you guys, because I know you guys are already doing it. That's why I'm so much behind you guys. You know what I'm saying? So keep it up, keep up the good work, and keep moving forward. And I hope to see you guys on even bigger shows and bigger venues. You know what I mean? Because like I saw tonight, that's where I want to see you guys. You know what I mean? I don't really care if I'm on those shows anymore, because I already did them, but I want to see other artists. I want to see you guys on there. I want to see other artists I'm working with, get to those venues. And it's going to happen again, because it's all coming around again. It's a full circle thing, and it's all coming around. And if you keep doing good things for people, good things are going to come back. We talked about the law of attraction. And you send out good things into the universe, and you do good things for people. I know you said if it don't come back, it's cool. You did good things, but things always come back. It always comes full circle, and you keep doing it, and you're gonna end up at those big venues. The Bluebirds, the Orientals, I can go on. The Aslan Theater, the Mammoth Event Center, the Paramount.
Speaking into existence.
What's that?
I said, name a state, speak it into existence.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it right now.
No. Name a state.
Name a state right now. Chicago, man. Chicago, Atlanta, and Texas, man. Atlanta. Kansas. You know what I mean? Those are all places. The goal, the year end goal, September, October is Canada, so everybody already knows that. It's a little bit of work for that.
So the women in Canada, come on, they're in Colorado, so it's going to be frozen anyway. So spending a year in Canada, but everything in Canada will be amazing.
Just for like a month, man, but it'll be worth it. A month or two, it'll be worth it to go to Canada. So it's, like I said, it's gonna be some hard work, but I wanna put that out there, and hopefully everybody's prepared, ready, and we're all ready, strength wise and mentally wise, man. What's that? What's going on? Yeah, man.
Hey, this guy's spending on the time. But on some little bad like that, when you come out like that, it doesn't really matter who's around, whenever you perform. we didn't perform. You know what I mean? Like